You're already doing something this week that could change how your child thinks about money for the rest of their life. You're going grocery shopping. The supermarket is full of real prices, real trade-offs, and real decisions. No worksheet can compete with that. And the best part is that you do not need to do anything extra. You just need to bring your child along and know what to point out. The OECD, one of the world's leading organizations on education policy, has recognized financial literacy as a key life competence since 2005. They specifically say that financial education should begin in early childhood because children are already immersed in a social and economic world from a very young age. And the data backs this up in a practical way. The OECD's PISA 2022 Financial Literacy Assessment, last checked on 2026 July 25th, found that students who discuss spending decisions with their parents perform better on financial literacy tests. That conversation does not have to happen at a desk. It can happen in the cereal aisle. So let's walk through exactly how to do this, step by step, from before you even leave the house to after you get back home. And because children of different ages are ready for different things, we will match each step to roughly where your child is developmentally. Step 1 starts at home, and it starts with a shopping list. Before you head out, sit down with your child and ask them to help you decide what the family actually needs this week. What do we have to buy? What we like to have but could do without? This is the needs versus wants distinction, and it is one of the most foundational financial concepts your child can learn. Researchers in the OECD's own financial competence framework for children and youth both identify this as a core building block, not an advanced idea, but the starting point for everything else. Even a 5-year-old can engage with this. You might say, we need milk because we have run out, but we would just like the chocolate spread because it sounds nice. Which list does it go on? Let them decide. Let them feel like they are part of the plan. Step 2 is about the youngest children in your family, roughly ages 4 to 6. At this age, the most important thing a child can learn about money is that it is finite. When you spend it, it is gone. That sounds obvious to an adult, but it is genuinely new information to a young child. Give them a physical role. Let them put items in the cart, count how many apples go in the bag, or hand the money or card to the cashier checkout. The act of handing something over and receiving less back, or nothing back, makes the abstract idea of spending feel real in a way that words alone never can. Children learn financial concepts most effectively through hands-on, real-life participation rather than abstract instruction. This is confirmed by both the FDIC's Consumer Education Resources and the Child Mind Institute. Touching the product, carrying the basket, passing the money across the counter. That is the lesson. Step 3 is for children around ages 7 to 9. This is where things get genuinely interesting because around 2nd and 3rd grade, children begin developing the cognitive ability to think ahead, weigh options, and understand that choosing one thing means giving up something else. At this stage, give your child a small, real budget for one category. It might be a piece of fruit, a snack, or a drink for the week. Tell them the amount they have to spend and let them choose. Do not rescue them from a hard choice. That is the whole point. And while you're making your own choices, narrate them out loud. This is something researchers call thinking aloud, and it is remarkably effective. You might say, I am choosing this brand because it costs less and the amount is bigger, so we get more for the same money. A child listening to that is learning how a thoughtful adult makes decisions. Step 4 is price comparison, and this is a skill the OECD's PISA 2022 data highlight directly. High performers in financial literacy are significantly more likely to compare prices before buying something than low performers. This habit starts young. Pick up 2 similar products, 2 jars of the same thing, 2 bags of the same snack, and ask your child, which one gives us more for our money? Look at the size, the weight, the price. Many shop shelves show a price per unit or per weight on the label. If yours does, point to it and explain what it means. This is how grown-ups compare things fairly. Then ask them why they think one product costs more. Is it the packaging? The brand name? Different ingredients? There may not be a single right answer, and that is fine. The goal is to get them thinking about the question, not to give them a formula. Step 5 is trade-offs, and this is where real financial thinking happens. A trade-off is simply this. Every choice costs you the thing you did not choose. When you spend your budget on one item, that budget is gone. You can introduce this naturally and without any drama. Something like, if we get the fancy biscuits, we will not have enough left for the cheese we planned on. What do you think we should do? Then actually listen. Let your child weigh in. And whatever they decide, let the consequence be real. If the cheese does not come home, notice that at dinner. Not as a punishment, just as a fact. Living with the outcome of a decision, even a small one, is how children begin to understand that choices have consequences. That understanding, built over hundreds of small grocery trips, becomes the foundation of careful financial thinking in adulthood. Step 6 is for your older children, roughly ages 10 to 12. At checkout, before the cashier totals everything up, challenge your child to estimate the total. They do not have to be exact. The goal is to practice the habit of tracking what you are spending as you go. Then, after the cashier has tallied the items, look at the receipt together. Did the total match what you expected? Were there any surprises? Is every item on the list actually on the receipt? This builds both mental arithmetic and the valuable habit of verifying what you have been charged, a skill many adults never develop. The EU and OECD Financial Competence Framework for Children and Youth, published in 2023, identifies 4 core areas of financial literacy: money and transactions, planning and managing finances, risks and rewards, and understanding the broader financial world. In one grocery trip, you have touched all 4. Step 7 happens at home, after the bags are unpacked. Spend just 2 or 3 minutes debriefing together. What choices did we make today? Did we stay within what we planned to spend? Was there anything you would do differently next time? This short reflection is where the lesson moves from experience into understanding. Without it, a grocery trip is just an errand. With it, it becomes a memory your child can draw on the next time they face a money decision, this week, this year, and decades from now. Now, one important note about all of these steps. You will notice the ages given are ranges, not exact numbers. That is intentional. Every child develops at their own pace, and the research is clear that tasks should be matched to the individual child, not just to a birthday. Some children will be ready to compare price per unit labels at age 6. Others will still be building the basic understanding that money is finite at age 9. Both of those children are completely normal. Your job is to watch where your child is and offer the next level of challenge, just slightly ahead of where they are comfortable, not so far ahead that it is frustrating, but enough to stretch them. And consistency matters more than any single perfect lesson. The FDIC Consumer Education Resources note that parental involvement produces lasting effects on children's financial habits. But that means ongoing involvement, not one great conversation. The power is in the repetition, trip after trip, month after month. So this week, bring your child along. Let them help write the list. Give a younger one something physical to do. Give the older ones a small budget or a price comparison challenge. And on the way home, ask them what they noticed. You're not trying to raise a financial expert. You are building a habit of paying attention, of noticing prices, questioning choices, and thinking ahead. Those habits, formed in the ordinary rhythm of family life, are among the most valuable things you will ever give your child. If you found this useful, there is more on building everyday money habits for children on this channel. Every video is designed around real activities you can start today, grounded in what the research actually says. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just practical ideas for the long game of raising a financially thoughtful child.